Hello, welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So today's topic, my face is so shining, like I think it's because of the view. Yeah, so today's topic, it's all about getting your driving license in Germany for those who live in Germany and the process. So I'm going to start by the process and how you can change your school, like, or different method and ways, like some tips and some secrets that you need to know about it in case your school is frustrating you and stuff, because there are a lot of challenges that are involved. So I'm just going to be leaving everything on this one video. Please stay and watch till the end, and if you are new to my YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you get all updates whenever I post something. Yeah, so let's go into the main topic. Why we are here, getting your driving license in Germany. First, the number one thing you need to do, you first of all have to register. Yeah, sorry about the noise. So first of all, you have to go to the school and do registration. They have morning course and they have afternoon and night course. So if you're like a woman who have children, or a guy who is working, it will be better for you to do the evening class. So the compulsory classes that you need to take are 14 classes. So when you go to the school, you do the registration. They are going to tell you when the course is going to start, and the 14 courses, they are compulsory. You must go for those 14 courses, and it is not in English, it's in Dutch. So don't worry, sometimes it can be boring, but yeah, you understand, because they are doing practical. They teach you everything, like use cars to draw on the board, to show you practically everything. So now, during that 14 course, they have app that you have to buy. You have to buy the app from the school. It's like 40 euros. So you buy it, and they tell you they want to download. You download it, and they do the registrations for you. So you start reading the app. The app have 1,700. It's 1,060. Wait. How many questions are in that app again? Because it's so many questions you need to answer. Yeah, so my app, like during the time I did my app was 1,076 questions. 1,076 questions on my app. But now they said this year, now the question is now 1,200. So they have add more questions to it. Yeah, they call it fragging bogen. So the Fraggy Burden, which is this app, now you have to read it. You have up to 80 to 90% score before you can write the theory exam. And the funny part is, sometimes you will read and read, the numbers are not adding up on that app. Now during my old time, I remember I started with one person that was living close to me, and the next thing person told me that he have written his own exam. Like, is it that I'm lazy or I don't have time? Because I keep reading the app. You have to read the app. You answer all the questions. If you answer it right, it will show green. If you answer it wrong, it will show red. So you have to keep reading. And at some point I was reading, and the marks were not adding up. Then I called the school. I asked the school, what is going on? I'm reading the marks are not adding up. I'm still where I am. And they said, don't worry, just continue. Sometimes the app is like that. Sometimes you are reading it, you are answering the questions like the questions you've answered before. So instead of you to add this, not add it. So you have to like choose options. Like they have options on the app. Just play around the app, answer some particular question, go again, answer the other one. And you can do it in different languages. You can do it in Dutch, you can do it in English. I did my own in English because English is easier for me. I try using Dutch to do it, not because I don't understand Dutch, but the Dutch, the way they said the questions, it's too complicated for somebody who grew up in English speaking country. So I decided to use English for my own. So yeah, so you have to get that app and you have to read all the question, get it up to 80-90%, and then you go to TUF, the school you, once you reach like 80-90%, the school automatically controls it from your phone. So if you call the school you are 90% or so, the school will check it on their system, they will see what percentage you are, then they will now make fixed exam date for you with the TUF, where you go and write the theory pro form. So if I'm too fast, guys, just let me know. So once you go to the TUF now, on that exam day, they have like different students in different schools, so it's not going to be only you, it's going to be like 40 students or thereabout. So everybody have their own seat, their name is written on it, it's a computer, they put the computer before you. So you sit down, look for your name, where your name is written, you sit down and you start. The once they say start, then you start. The funny part is everything you read on the app, just the same way it's on the app, like when you play it, all the instructions are there. All you need to do is just to answer all the questions correctly. And once you finish, if you don't know how to click it, just signify, raise up your hand, so the person will come and help you. Because the one mistake people make, once you finish on the exam and you want to click submit, because it's computer, you can mistakenly click something else and all those questions will wipe out, and then you start all over again. That can fail people, because I've seen a lot of people who wrote that theory exam 5 times. Each time you fail, you have to pay like 80 to 85 euro to rewrite the exam again. So it's kind of frustrating. So if you are writing it on that day, if you don't know anything, it's no problem, just ask the instructor, just ask the examiner that is supervising it to show you how it works. It will show you everything. So now after that exam, after you have passed it, that is when you now start driving. Now another thing about this driving process I want to talk about. So after, when you start driving, they teach you some stuff like how you can drive and all the things. When it's time, normally the hours that are compulsory here that you have to drive is 12 hours. 12 hours is very compulsory. They call it student fats, uh, how did they call it sef? There is one they call student fat, which is compulsory. Autobahn fat is compulsory. The normal driving, it's also compulsory. So it's 12 hours, it's compulsory. They call it verpflichtung. Verpflichtung. So that 12 hours now is very compulsory. So if you are starting all over, like you don't know how to drive before, they might tell you to drive 20 hours, 30 hours. Some school make it in a way that you have to drive 100 hours or even more, because they want more money. Now that is the main thing I want to talk about now on this video. If you are in a school, you are driving, you've driven like 20 hours, and they've not asked you to drive that autobahn or student fat, because that one is very compulsory. That one, even if you have driven like 20 hours before, you still need to drive at least that 12 hours must join that 20 you have driven already before you can now write the final exam. So so some school they make you drive like 30 hours before they now tell you to come and start that one, the driving on the autobahn. You have to drive at night also, which is very compulsory. They teach you how to drive at night, daytime, anytime. So the appointment, it depends on when you have time and you are sure that you can drive and all that. So sometimes, because you are nervous, when you finish all that process, sorry about that, something's actually flying here. See where I am, it's close to the city. Oh my, can you see that? So sometimes when you finish all that process now and you want to write the final exam, because you are nervous, there are tendencies that you can fail it, not because you don't know how to drive, but because you are just naturally nervous. So so the best thing, once you finish all the learning process and you are driving and it's time for you to write your exam, for you to ease that tension, that nervous, that that fear out of your mind because you don't know if you are going to pass it or fail, I recommend you drive at least 1 hour before the exam time. Now most schools don't do this. Most schools will tell you to drive, maybe you drive like Friday, and then on Tuesday is the exam, so you don't drive Saturday, Sunday, maybe Monday, and then you go and write the exam. You might end up failing. So the best thing to do is drive as much as possible. Make sure you know the road signs, everything, just as it was written on the app. And once it's time to write the exam, drive 1 hour. It's allowed. You just have to tell them before the exam time. Drive 1 hour before the May exam, because that will make you now comfortable. You are already relaxed on the seat and everything, so when you are driving and the examiner is sitting, you will know you have driven already. That fear now will now leave you automatically. So for me, I attended 2 schools. So listen, the first school I attended, I noticed that if I want to write my exam, they will put the exam on Monday, and then I can only drive on Friday. I cannot drive on Saturday. It's not possible because of where I live. The bus drive to 2 hours before I will go to the city, come back. It's a waste of time. And sometimes they tell you on Saturday it's totally out of it. You can only learn. It's my leg. It's like it's not even. So you can only drive Friday, and then you write exam on Monday. On Monday, you sit down on the chair. It's like when you sit on the car seat and you want to move, the examiner is already waiting for you. You are scared and shivering. Before you know it, you end up making one small mistake, and then they'll say you have failed. Even if it's 10 minutes into the exam, once you just make small mistake, they just tell you the pro form is for by, which means it's finished. And then you have to go and pay another. The funny part, rewriting it, which they call vida hole in here, you pay 120 to the car, 120 euro for the car you are using. You pay 91 euro 75 cents to tube, and then you have to drive again before. So at the end of it, if you are repeating the exam, you have to spend 300 euros to 450 euro, depending on the hours you have to drive again. If you are going to drive 5 hours again before you write the exam again, some school will tell you 5 hours is compulsory, but it's not compulsory. If it's 2 weeks, 5 hours, it's not compulsory. You can say, okay, I'll just drive 2 times or 3 times. It's your choice. And then you write the exam again. So my first school, because of this process that you drive on Friday, and then you have to wait again till Monday, and then you just write the exam, no driving again, I failed the first one. And the second one, I was driving, I didn't even, because it's rest 4 lanes, which means give way to the right before, as in if you are driving, you have to give priority to the right person. I saw a car that traffic gated, was going to the other side. I said, okay, since the car is going now, let me just follow. Then the examiner just told me you have failed it. I said, okay. I said, okay. And the next, I was just angry because I didn't even. Yeah, so I'm just going to continue here. Sorry, the place I was before, I was in the city, there was a lot of things flying all over my body, my neck, and I was really not comfortable there. So back to the topic of today. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. It might help 1 or 2 persons out there. So when they said I failed the second exam, just 10 minutes into it, I was like, okay. I was very angry. I said, okay. So I then started, I called one of my sister. My sister told me, it was the same thing that happened to someone she knows, that sometimes the schools, they purposely do it to fail you, or maybe sometimes you just make minor mistake, you think it's nothing, and then they just fail you, so you are going to rewrite it again, then you end up paying a lot of money. I said, okay, I know what I'm going to do. So I started making inquiries for my friends and everything, because here you can change to any school of your choice. Once you've passed the theory exam and you realize that the school you are driving, they want you to continue driving, you are failing, you have every right to carry all your papers there and go to another school and do registration. They will only ask you for the theory exam, which you have written, to make sure that you pass it. and then they will only ask you for paper from the other school which you need to get. So if you are leaving the other school, say for example you've been in other school before and you are failing, you have to go to the school and tell the school you don't want to continue with them again. You need bestätigung. Bestätigung is the paper, that's what they call it. Once you tell the school you need all your papers, your bestätigung, they will give it to you. So that paper now, you just take it with your theory exam paper to another school. You don't have to pay, it's free. You just go there, you do 45 minutes drive. They see how you are driving, how good you are, and then they tell you, okay, you need to drive 2 times or 3 times more, and then they write exam, and then they book the exam date for you, and then you just write the exam. That was what happened to me. So I went to another school. They say, okay, you don't have to register again, your name is already on the tube and everything, your driving license is already ready, all you need to do is just to pass the exam. So they said I was going to drive, and I drove 1 hour with the new instructor, and he said, you drive very well, so what is the problem? I said, I don't know, because the last time they said I made one mistake somewhere. And he said, okay, don't worry, so we'll book your next exam now for the next 1 week, and before this exam we drive 3 times more, and these 3 times you drive 2 hours on Monday, on Tuesday is the exam, we drive 1 hour before the exam. I said, okay, perfect, this is what I need. So I do the registration and I drive with them. Do you know, funny part of it is, on this fragging board and this app that they give you 1,000 plus questions that you have to write, that you have to read to have 80% and pass it. You just, at the end of all that 1,000, like my order was 1,076 questions. Do you know, at the end of it, these are only the questions that came in exam. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's really sunny. Let me see how many questions are here for you to answer. Like, they just bring like 30 questions or 35 questions out of that 1,000 something that you have to answer. At the end, if you pass it, then you can start driving and everything. So here is my result. They make it like branches or something, like what is compulsory and all the things. So they have gefahren Lehre, verheizen in Straßenverkehr, Vorfahrts Vorrang, Vorfahrtszeichen, Umweltstoß, so it's like 22 um 22, if I will call it, questions or so. So on that day when you are writing your final exam, you sit on the car, you are driving, the examiner is checking these 22 questions that is written here to know which one you are going to fail, because they said some out of these 22, some are very compulsory that you must not fail. Once you fail, then the exam is over. So they said there are minor ones, which I really don't know what are the minor faults, because they said if you are driving now, maybe your car mistakenly off on the road, and you know when your car off, you can just match it, like click the jar again, then it's once you click the jar, after a few seconds it automatically restarts again, and then you can drive off. So that one, they said, is minor fault. And they said if you drive across the, so that is it. So once you finally pass it, like if you just, one thing I've come to, the secret is, when you are driving on that day of your exam, don't be scared. Just peace, drink water, relax, drive like normal day. Don't try to add more, don't try to add less. Don't drive too slow, don't drive too fast. Just take your time. If you are driving, you see the space is too big and too small for the oncoming car to pass, just slow down, wait, put it on first gear, traffic gate, so the other cars will know that okay, you are going to continue. That way you will pass the exam with no stress. So when I finally passed my own, when I finally did my own, I drive 1 hour before the exam. So I was already calm. I was a little bit nervous, but I was calm. Then I start driving, and then I finished driving. I parked 2 times, one between car, the other one in a park plat, in a car I am speaking though, sorry. The other one in like when you go shopping where you car park where you have to drive park. So I park there and everything. And the examiner saw that I drive as in very well, there was no mistake and everything. The last few minutes is very compulsory because that's where they try to fail you. When they see that you can drive very well, everything is perfect, the last few minutes they want to make sure you make mistake so you can rewrite the exam again. So now I have finished all the driving and I was supposed to revise and enter my school back. The examiner said no, that I have to go and take another road. I said okay. I said in my mind, this is where this examiner want to fail me again. I will not fail because that day I have already paid 340 euro 76 cents and I'm not ready to pay more again. I said okay, no problem. All of us we die here today. So I asked him where should I go now. He said go straight, go straight. They want to know if I'm going to make mistakes. So I start driving straight. I make sure I observe all the traffic sign. He said okay, left again. I followed the left. I make sure I observe all the traffic sign. He said left again. I follow. I make sure I give priority to the cars and everything that I have to do very well, observe very well. And then finally he said go right now. Now we are going to the school. If the school we could have gone since, so he just want to make me drive round again. So I finally drive to the school and then they say park there. Then I ask where. I say yeah. I say okay. Then I park very well. I off it, put it on brake and everything, do all the things you need to do, check the steering if it's still. And then he said bestanding, which means pass. I said thank God. And then they finally gave me my driving license. When I now have the driving license, I was like, so because of this driving license, I've been going through a lot of stress. This will making me drive up and down like I don't know what I'm doing. So that was how I finally got it. So and when I received it, so after all the stress this will make me go through. So this is even the driving license. And the driving license. So I hope I was able to help you guys out. So if you like it, you find it interesting, please share to help other people, encourage them. If you are driving, don't give up, don't give up, no matter